Good morning, my friends. Happy Monday. I just now am having my first sips of coffee. So here's my deal. My body rises and falls with the sun. Now that it's not getting light as early in the morning, because we're going the other direction, my body is not waking up as early in the morning as it was a couple of months ago. And so I'm getting later and later, and then it's a mad dash. So probably within the next week or so, I'll be changing the time a little bit on this, because I really do like to have a little bit of time to sit and do my meditation before I do these and give some thought to my day and where I am in my life, and do some prayer work and that sort of thing. You know, that first hour and a half of the morning for me is kind of like my special time. So, that being said, I'll probably be moving these just a little bit later, like an hour or so maybe, pretty soon, because we'll be in real trouble when winter gets here and it's not getting light out until later. Actually, it still gets light here pretty early, even in the winter. But I don't know, my body's just not waking up as early as it was. So I have to honor that and go with that flow. And it's just part of who I am now. The new me. I can't say new and improved. I'm not sure that's true. So this is kind of interesting. I just typed out kind of a little synopsis of our chapter today that we're talking about, and it's called Spiritual Loyalty. And I think you're really going to like it. In the meantime, though, just before I turn on the camera, I pulled out an oracle card, and this is called Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And these are not, they're not tarot cards. I know I say that every day, but they're oracle cards, and they just, for me, it's something to look at in my life and to ponder. And some days they like sucker punch me when I go, oh my gosh, I'm doing this? Am I doing this? And I have to give it some thought. And usually I'm like, yeah, I can see where I have strayed here. So anyway, today's card is called the Dragon Duel, D-U-E-L, Duel. And it's about inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. I'm trying to get the card here so I can show it to you. And you can see it's actually two dragons entangled with one another. And what it represents is that there are always two choices. You know, we all come to those forks in the road in our lifetimes. And we have to examine them carefully. One route may be an easier, smoother road. Maybe it's one that we've been down many, many times and we know it, and so it's easy for us to navigate it. The other route might be a little bumpy, and maybe we haven't been down it before. And we don't know what to expect. It could be very bumpy, it could be very rutted, it could be washed out in some places. It's going to be a much more challenging road. Usually the one that we haven't been yet is the one that we need to go, because it could be for our highest and best good. And so these are things that we come across throughout our whole lives, where we have to stop and really give some thought to, am I taking the path that is for my highest and best good? Am I following my soul's journey? Am I honoring my soul's purpose? Or am I taking the road less traveled, or the road more traveled, the one that I know? It could be the type of relationship that you know. It could be the type of job that you know. Hi, Mark. It could be just the easier path. And so in this card, the Dragon's Duel, what it's saying is you need to look at this and make sure that you are taking the road that is for your highest and best good, even though it may not be the most comfortable road, it may not be the easiest road. It's asking us to step outside of ourselves and follow what our real path and purpose is. So that's a really huge card. That's a really cool card. I like it a lot. Today is day 31. We're really winding down our 40-day journey here very quickly. We've only got a little over a week left of it. So today's title is Spiritual Loyalty. The quote today, I won't lie, is something I don't really understand. I'm going to do a little bit, but it says, truth is the flight of the alone to the alone. I love the flight of the alone to the alone. Truth is the flight of the alone to the alone. It was written by Plotinus, Plotinus. I don't know who that is either. Something to ponder though, right? Spiritual loyalty. Wouldn't it just be a mess if the Spirit placed your answer in someone else? Spiritual loyalty is looking within to the self for divine guidance and following its direction to the next step in your unique pattern of unfoldment. Some teachers demand unconditional loyalty, but who and what you are is too big to be confined to one teacher's techniques of spiritual awakening. There really is no such thing as spiritual promiscuity. Different dimensions of our consciousness may require a specific teacher and teaching for our individual growth. For example, if you integrate one path of prayer with a different path's meditation technique, that is good. Even if you are inwardly guided to take a sabbatical from your routine of practices and simply to remain still, it is good. To grow up spiritually means to take personal responsibility for your growth and your development. You drop fellowship for leadership by spirit. While you learn form from your various teachers, you don't make them your gods. You don't place them on a pedestal imagining that they will do the work for you, that being in their mere presence or that simply listening to their teaching will transform you. Only you can do the inner work required for you to wake up. I love that. You may have many teachers, but only one master, God alone. You must follow your own inner guidance. Today, approach your spiritual path as though for the first time. Ask the Spirit to guide you. Remember, spiritual paths are merely the maps, the road guides to awakening, the finger pointing to the moon. Once you've arrived, throw away the maps. Don't you love that? Affirmation. My mind is centered in heaven, and I respond to the leadership of the Spirit. No intermediary stands between the Spirit and my soul. God in me is the one true source of my fulfillment and enlightenment. Wow. Hi, Tony. Hi, Shelley. That's amazing. That's really great, because we have, who has had more than one teacher in your life, right? We all have. Spiritual teachers, I'm talking. When I was a kid, when I was very young, I used to go with my grandmother, my Grandma Clark, to church sometimes. And for me, it was really more about the coloring and some of the stories, because I was in the little kids church thing. And then, as I was, about 4th grade, 5th grade, I guess it was, some friends that lived near me went to the Catholic church, and they had a family of 8 kids, and Gold something was their last name. I don't remember now, but all their names started with T's. I remember that. They lived down the street from me, and so one more kid for them was nothing, and so I tagged along with them and went to catechism classes, which was for me more about stealing the pencils out of the desks. It's terrible, I know. God didn't strike me down yet. And going to church with them sometimes on Sundays. And as a young adult, I did join the Catholic Church, and I went through all the classes so that I could become baptized. And oh my gosh, the nuns didn't like me very much. I asked too many questions, and they didn't like the way my questions were asked, I was just curious, though, they were just honest questions that I had. But I did get baptized and all that good stuff, and found that I was so bothered by not being able to answer the questions that I had. And then a friend introduced me to, there was a church in Tempe, used to be held at Corona del Sol High School, called New Hope, and it was a Nazarene church. And the pastor was Tom Wilson. Some friends introduced me to that, and my mom and I started going there. Oh my gosh, I love that church so much. I loved Pastor Tom. He was so relatable. He talked about real life stuff. They had a fantastic music program, and I really loved it there. And then Pastor Tom was moved to California, and a new pastor came. I have a thing about new pastors. I don't know what it is. I stopped going. And so then I found, I tried a lot of churches, and then I moved to Boise. I tried out a lot of churches in Boise, and I found the Center for Spiritual Living with Reverend Jackie Holland, and that became my new spiritual home. And I still consider it my spiritual home, to be honest, even though I'm back in Arizona. And I love the New Thought Christian Church. It answers my questions, and it's not divisive, because in that faith, all paths lead to God. And, that was my belief. I never believed that one path was the only path. I believe that you choose the path that's right for you at that time in your life. And so, here in Arizona, I've gone to the Center of Spiritual Living, a couple different ones. I went to Unity. I found Unity of Mesa. Love the pastor there, Pastor Mark Fuller. Loved him. Pastor Mark, even though he's a young man, got a brain tumor and died, all in a matter of a very short time. I've only been back there a couple of times. I don't know what it is about losing those pastors. It's almost, to me, it's like, okay, your lessons here are done. Move on, find something else. In addition to those teachers, of course, there have been many everyday teachers. I think of Jesus as a master teacher. His message was so right on and so pure. And I really, honestly, for me, I feel like a lot of the churches, the mainstream religions, have twisted around his work and turned it into something that they use for power and control. And that doesn't sit very well with me, personally. I judge nobody for going that path. Like I say, I believe all paths lead to the same place, and we all need a different way of learning and different teachers in our lives. And so, and I've had many spiritual teachers. Some of my teachers at Southwest Institute for Healing Arts have been some of my greatest teachers, not just of particular classes, but about myself and about what I believe. Thank you. Yes, you believe corrupted. Yeah, it's mainstream religion. I feel like it's just about power and money anymore. And it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I'm a very spiritual person. I have a very deep connection to spirit. But I don't go to church every week, and I don't subscribe to every path that there is. I believe they all have their own beauty, though, and I believe that they all lead to the same place. Somebody asked me on here the other day, a lady I didn't know, and she's not from this country, but she asked a question of, asked me what religion I am. And I told her, I said, honestly, I don't consider myself any one religion. I believe all paths lead to God. If I do go to church, it's typically going to be a Center for Spiritual Living or a Unity Church, just because those resonate more with me. I think all religions have their beauty, and that is in their teachings and the real meanings of their teachings. But I never believe that there is only one right religion, and that makes every other religion wrong, because I think that at its core is what is wrong with our world today. Religion. Everything, these wars, so many of these wars are about religion. The things that are happening in our country are about religion. And that's what I love so much about us moving from this third dimensional world into a fifth dimensional world, is that it's going to be the end of duality. It's going to be the end of the card that we just did. And if you guys missed it at the beginning, please go back and listen. The dragon, what is it called? Dragon's Duel, D-U-E-L, that is about two separate forces. And, we are moving to oneness. And I think that's just beautiful. In the meantime, it's painful for a lot of people. And I think things are going to get worse before they get better, unfortunately. But I know we're going there. And that masculine energy is starting to slide, and the feminine energy is moving forth. And that old energy is not going to go down without a fight. You can trust that. You can believe that. But there are better things ahead. I really believe that. So it's going to be uncomfortable in the meantime. The most important thing I think we have to do is staying connected. Staying connected with ourselves through meditation, through prayer, through reading, through whatever it is, YouTube videos. Oh my gosh, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos, all different subjects. Of course, like I've said before, I really love to learn. I love to learn. I should have just been a career student. Oh yeah, they gotta make a living. That's right. Okay, I forgot about that little part. But anyhow, I hope you have a great day, and it's the start of a new week, and it's going to be a great week because we're 1 week closer to fall, which is awesome in Arizona. Hallelujah! Look at those hearts, Shelly. Thank you. I am so done with this heat, and it is sticking around. It's not going anywhere for a while. Shit. Hate it. I'm done with it. I just feel like I do nothing but sweat. Ugh. Okay. So there's my rag rant for the week. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning around 7:30-ish. And I also talked a little bit in the beginning about probably moving this to a little later, because I'm not waking up as early as I was. It's all about me. Not really, but anyway, so maybe that'll work out for everybody else too. So peace and blessings. I love you guys, and I really, really appreciate you being here. Feel free to share my videos anytime, and have a fabulous day. Love you. Bye.